we're now going to move on to the Saints Awards because we didn't get to see the ones the other night. Yeah.
Don't bring it up again.
Best newcomer for Saints. People who've not played before this season. There's obviously Jack Ashworth. Will count him. He's still a newcomer.
Yeah.
Jack Ashworth, Matty Costello got Betfred Championship Player of the Year.
Yeah.
But undoubtedly, we've talked about him the other night. We talked about him earlier in the show. Matty Lees.
Yeah. He just looks like one of them tough forwards who just doesn't shy away from taking the ball.
Now, I believe you've got a story from a Wigan coach that we won't name.
Yeah. Well, apparently Matty Lees, was taking his electrician's course, and he went over chatting to Wigan, and Wigan wanted him to completely leave the electrician's course and just go sign on with them. He was chatting to Saints as well.
Allegedly, this.
All allegedly. Saints turned round and said, "No, you can carry on with your course, and come training with us when you can." Obviously, he signed on the dotted line for Saints, and allegedly it hurts Wigan has seen him in a Saints shirt because he's a Wigan type of player, just that uncompromising, tough prop who will take the ball in, doesn't shy away. If he gets whacked, and there's a clip that I've seen on Twitter from the Super League Twitter account where it's Matty Lees running into Sam Powell, the two forwards, and he bounces, he gets absolutely smashed, and the first thing he does is find his stomach and play the ball. And you know when you think, right, that's not getting absolutely smashed yet, he's took a big hit, but he's stood up and he's played the ball. He's a young lad. He is nowhere near his prime yet, and he already looks
good enough to be in any team in Super League.
Yeah, absolutely.
A great story, whether it's true or not, and if it is true, it shows the value of how Saints treat their young players and want to develop.
Well, we did something similar with Adam Swift, didn't we, a couple of years ago, where he was part-time, then he came into the squad, and obviously he went from strength to strength.
Young Player of the Year, again, a player who is a future Saints captain.
Yeah, absolutely. I still don't think he's a 9. I still don't think he's a 9, and he keeps getting thrown into the...
but it shows his versatility.
It does. He's Morgan Knowles.
I even managed to interrupt you in the middle of
saying his name. What a surprise. Yeah, Morgan Knowles. He's tough as teak, to use an old adage. He just looks like he's got his head screwed on. Yeah, he's had a disciplinary issue where he's been sent off against Catalan away from home, but that wasn't malicious. That was him just getting into the wrong position and not being able to take himself out of that tackle. But he just looks like all the time like he's ready and he wants it and he's willing. And I think Holbrook said in the paper that they asked him to play 9, and the conversation pretty much just went, yeah, okay, and that was the end of that. And that's the type of professional you want at your club.
Unsung Player of the Year. Now, Saints have created a new record in Super League this season. 52 points from the 30 games, the highest points total from any team in the history of Super League, which is a great stat, which completely blows Wigan's. Ooh, look, we've won every game in the Super 8s. 7 in a row, big whoop. 52 points in the season for Saints. So, unsung player. Do you know what? We've got some workhorses in our team.
Yeah.
We've missed Ryan Morgan when he's been out of the team.
We certainly have.
Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook has been absolutely fantastic all year and doesn't get the recognition he deserves, and some of our fans stupidly think he's still not good enough. Mad. I don't know where they watch the game from or what their opinion on that one is, but how anybody could not like Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook, even just for what he brings to the team in terms of attitude and the way he drags the team forward when we need someone. But his all-round performances, he's always got a try in him, he's always got a line break in him. When nobody else or heads have gone down, you can guarantee Louis is going to be getting stuck in. But that said, we're not having him in as our...
I love him how he just winds opposition fans
up
as well, and opposition players up when on the field. No.
But a man we put in our dream team, unsung player of the year, Big Don Pedro.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Just because we wanted to give him another award, because exactly. We love him.
Yeah, he's brilliant, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think there's much more we can say about Dom.
I love you, Dom. Try of the year. Do you know what? We've scored so many tries this season, so many spectacular ones. It's well, we have to use Saints nominations to narrow it down, didn't we?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, there's so many, as we say, like Grace against Castleford, where Barba gets the ball, feeds Grace, and off he goes full length of the field. I can't remember the last time we had so many length of the field tries as well. I know the one that won at Saints was the one against Wigan, where Richardson kicks it out wide and Makinson somehow puts it down in the corner.
Do you know, that's a really good point there about... You go back 18 months and it was pretty much common knowledge that unless Saints got within 10 metres of a try line, we weren't going to score.
Yeah.
And now, all of a sudden, on any given play from anywhere on the park, Saints can put a try in.
Well, and look at the try against Warrington, where Morgan breaks and then feeds Richardson. After Richardson's passed it on to Morgan, Morgan breaks with a bit of a gap, comes back inside to Richardson, Richardson scores. Done.
And this is where our try of the year comes from. It was against Castleford. I think it was the league game, wasn't it? It was on the night. Castleford put a ball up to the Saints try line. Adam Swift
passes
it backwards.
Yeah,
bobbles it. Everybody thinks it's a knock on, but Ben Barba, quick as a flash, is gone, and he goes round the outside, down the touch line. Probably a foot away from going in touch, but goes the length of the field and scores. And just for the way Saints turn defensive into attack and the quickness of thought into not stopping and basically just using initiative and going and having the skill and the pace to go and actually do that and look from 80 metres out that he was still going to score.
Yeah.
The winner has to be Ben Barba.
I'm quite happy with that. There's quite a few we could have chosen, but I'm happy to nominate that one.
Player of the year. Many candidates, obviously. James Roby,
Yep.
imperious as always, and has made the Man of Steel shortlist. Luke Thompson swept the board at the club.
Yep.
Even the fans' player of the year. But for me, I wonder whether some of that was influenced by the decision of Ben Barba to be going home at the end of the year, and maybe his last 4 or 5 performances, which has clouded people's judgments a little bit. But for me, if you're looking at player of the year, the person who's got us out of our seats, has made you go, wow, I can't believe he's in a Saints shirt, how lucky are we to have him, has been the envy of every other club, and they still can't stop singing about him, that it can only be one winner for our player of the year.
Ben Barba. It's got to be. Absolutely got to be. You see hashtags saying, better off rid, get rid, behave yourselves. He's gone through, and this goes for every walk of life. He's gone through the upheaval of, he's been approached by a different club. So take that out of rugby and make it a different company.
You can go home to Australia,
yeah,
probably earn maybe twice as much, live on the beach, be near your family, play in the premier competition in the world, or you can stay at us and come to Salford on a Thursday night next season. I'm not dissing us here, because do you know what? That's the way Super League is at the minute. We'll only see the best Aussie players who have had a bit of upheaval in their lives or are coming to the end of their careers. Do you know what? The way we've treated Ben Barba, we've got to let him go, because otherwise we won't get another start again, because people will see how it is. And people say, yeah, oh, well, if he hadn't had a great year, he'd be here next year. Well, yeah, that's the way it is, but that's the risk you've got to take, and to get these the big players over. And do you know what? If every other team in Super League had a chance to have Ben Barba for 12 months, they would have took it.
Yeah, that's it. He's going back to what I was saying. He's had that upheaval. He's had the worry of if the contract's going to go through or not. And then in the back of his mind, he's thinking, I can't get injured before I sign this contract. We've seen people tweet us and all over our social media on about how the club should come out and tell us more about it. What more is there to tell? Everybody knew he was in talks with someone, but the club can't come out and say that, because it's unprofessional.
And equally, he was carrying injuries.
Exactly, you've got to take him at face value that he's carrying knocks and his head possibly isn't in the right place. That's not for you to get on Ben Barba's back. I didn't see anybody having a go at Justin Holbrook saying, well, he should leave him out then if his head's not in the right place. But Justin Holbrook sees them every day of the week and is in the best position to judge. Not someone who sits in an office 5 days a week and sees what they see on Twitter and a bit of social media and puts 2 and 2 together and makes 5. Listen, Ben Barba's been box office. He's been absolutely tremendous. For the first, 20 rounds of Super League, he's dragged what is an average league up to being, or what should be marketed as one of the most exciting products in the UK.
And if we'd have been facing Ben Barba this season in a Wigan shirt, a Cass shirt or a Warrington shirt, there's a good chance he would have dragged them that far forward that they'd have been competing for top spots.
Yeah.
A lot more than they have been. And do you know what? That's nothing against us, because when he's been out of the team, we've still pretty much won all our games, which shows how good as a team we are. But he's X factor. And if he finishes the season over the next couple of weeks how he started the year, then nobody's going to remember a poor performance at Huddersfield at home in the Super 8s.
Well, exactly. And he looks like he's coming back to a bit of that form. I mean, you only have to look at the past 2 games. He's been dancing around on try lines and deciding to score or give it to someone else.
I think that's done and dusted, isn't it?
Yep.
So there you go. The first Redvee end of season awards show. And if you've stuck with us for the 20 odd minutes, we do appreciate it. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and we will see you later in the week before the semi-final against Warrington. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us, Kev.
Alright.
I'll let you go.
So, Tuesday then, yeah?
Yeah.
Alright.
Now,
See you later. Ta-ra.
Ta-ra.